You guys, Macy's has everything you need for all your summer occasions. They have the perfect outfit for graduation, your summer trip coming up, or that end of summer wedding. If you do, I actually have a wedding coming up. And it can be stressful to try and find something that's perfect for a wedding. Especially if it's like black tie. They got tons of stuff though at Macy's. They have tons of dresses. They have tons of brands. They have fragrances. They have makeup. So literally anything you want. Also, if you need like swimsuits or stuff for your kids for summertime, they've got you covered. They have DKNY, Michael Kors on 34th, and lots more. I personally summertime is just my favorite time of the year. I love it so much. And I love a new fresh season, just getting like a few new pieces that feel comfy and flattering and that I know I'm going to just wear a ton. And yeah, Macy's got you covered.
If you're going on a beach trip or you have a pool and you're just constantly, in the water, your kids are in the water, you're going on a trip with your friends, whatever it is, Macy's really does have so many fun things for summer pool vibes or beach vibes. So like JC said, like pool floats, cute beach towels, things to keep your food and just random things that you really need for summertime. And if you want them, I just love having a little set. Like I love getting matching towels with like a matching little cooler and, having it look cute, honestly. So check out Macy's for all of your summer needs. You can shop at Macy's.com or you can go in store. Again, that's Macy's.com. Check it out. Hello, welcome back to the What We Said podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. This is the end of a short week because it was Memorial Day on Monday, which is actually today. Happy Memorial Day when we're
Happy Memorial Day.
recording this, but obviously not when you're listening. Today we're doing our advice column. Of course, it's the last Friday of the month. I love when the last day of the actual month is on a Friday. Just feels right. Actually, right. I think I like it better when it's on a Saturday, but Friday is next best.
I like when a month starts on a Monday. Mm-hmm. That is one of my favorite feelings.
True.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Mm-hmm. Advice segment. We have been doing these for how long? How long have we been doing a monthly advice column? I feel like it's been years.
Yeah, like 3 years maybe.
And I'm not sick of it.
Same.
Hope you guys aren't either.
I know. It's crazy that you guys just keep having problems.
How's the rash? How's the pickled hand?
So good. It's
a lot better.
Literally gotten so much better. The day that I had my dermatology appointment, I woke up that morning and it was getting better. Like it had progressively every day since then gotten worse and worse and worse for like a week and a half almost, where it was every day there was more bumps. They were redder. They were itchier. Like they were getting worse by the day. And then the day I had my dermatology appointment, they got better. And I was like, okay. And Nick's like, they just needed to be seen and accepted. Like they just needed to be acknowledged. And then
now they've dissipated.
Yeah. And so I haven't even been taking, she gave me like a cream, like a steroid cream. She said it was something called granuloma annular.
The rash itself?
The rash, yeah. And she said, yeah, we don't really know why it comes up. It's just
I had hives for like a year when I would like, I think I vlogged about it. It was a few years ago. Yeah. And I would like, they would appear when I would get very itchy, like as if I was having some sort of reaction to something. And then when I would itch, like hives would show up. And it was the same thing. Like they were just like, yeah, like we think it's just pressure, like literally like on your skin, like wearing clothes. I'm like, cool. So I'm allergic to wearing clothes. Yeah. But then it just went away one day. And my mom's actually been struggling with hives lately. I'm not going to get into her medical information on the podcast. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to, I was telling her if she is still struggling with it in like a little bit, maybe I would like open it up to our audience to see if like anyone, you know, has any experience with what she's experiencing specifically, because it's been like 6 months for her and it's been pretty brutal, but I think that it is starting to get a little better. So anyway, if she has another flare up, maybe I'll give you guys more details and ask the Valley Girls if they have any advice. But regardless, my point is skin stuff like this is so frustrating because I feel like a lot of times people just don't know the answer. And you'll try like, with my hives, I was trying like elimination diets. Like I would not eat gluten for a little bit and then I would not eat dairy and like, I would not use certain products on my skin. And it just was like, we have no idea. I'm like, this is so frustrating.
I know, it really is. It was even after, I'm like, there's got to be something. Even though it's gone away, something had to bring it up. I mean, I'm sure my hormones had something to do with it just because I'm postpartum and like I know there are certain hormones I'm just like lacking right now probably or have less of. And so I don't know. I was like, maybe it has something to do with my thyroid, but it's so hard to tell. So I've just been trying to, I don't know. There's also once I had the rash, I was like, well, I do have other symptoms, but is that because of this or are they all related to the same thing? Like brain fog. Okay, well, I'm also postpartum. Is that from postpartum and just being tired? I don't know. But anyways.
Thing after thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, I'm glad that they're gone and not bothering you anymore. Hopefully they don't come back.
I know. I rubbed some of my breast milk on them too before. Yeah, I didn't. Did I say that I didn't even take the cream she gave me? I didn't start it. Because I was like, if it went away, if it gets better, I'll do it. But I don't want to like put it on there, and cause it's like a steroid cream. So
yeah,
I was this close to posting about it on my Instagram because, like you were saying, I know that Instagram is not my doctor.
It's honestly a great resource.
It is because when people can say, I was scared to post because I didn't want anyone to be like,
scare
this
you,
is horrible. You know, this is a sign before you die or something. Yeah. But at the same time, when I had my weird vision thing, when I was pregnant, I would get like stereoscope eyes, or I think it's called. Kaleidoscope. Stereoscope. Kaleidoscope eyes. And I posted about it on my Instagram. It was so comforting that people were like, I had this too. I had it a couple times. Like it went away.
It was totally fine. Yeah.
Which is comforting and nice to know, like, did anybody else have this? I cannot, it's not coming up on Google. So.
And it's hard. Skin stuff is really hard to Google. It's like red bump that's itchy and it's like, it could be anything under the sun. And yeah, it's great to go to a doctor, but it is nice to hear like personal experiences from people. Like, I had chronic hives for this amount of time and this is how, whatever, this is what helped me. Like, it's nice to get personal anecdotes.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. But I'm feeling better.
Good.
So we'll see. You know what was a funny observation I made? I took Case out for a little. My little boyfriend and I went on a date. No, I took him out for a little pasta date, just for like me and him to go out without the baby, to go to dinner. And at the end, I always like give him my credit card so that he can like pay, because he loves to like give it to him or give it to the waiter or whatever.
Yeah,
be the one to pay. And you know what little kids do nowadays to. You know how, okay, so if you were like 5 and you were hired to give you a credit card and
like swipe the card.
Yeah, like you swipe. You know what he does now? He taps.
That's like the thing with like, go to take a picture and they like act like they're on an iPhone instead of like going like this.
Nick and I were shook. He was like, you know, he gave the person the credit card. He didn't actually tap. But then later that day we were, or the next day, he was playing with my card. And he was pretending to pay for things. And he was beep, beep, tapping. I was like, what the heck?
Oh my gosh, that is weird. Crazy.
Like literally Apple Pay is just the way now. Like he'll grab your, like he knows your phone pays for things.
That's
Isn't that
wild.
So weird?
Yeah. That is
trippy.
So funny.
It was really trippy.
I got my massage that you had gifted me. Yes. And it was so good.
Really?
I meant to text you. Yeah. It was honestly amazing. It made up for my
I was worried after
horrible experience
after I heard about that.
That was a one-off thing. I will say, I feel like that has literally never happened to me until that time. So if you're getting a massage soon, don't worry. And if they are very rough and hard on you,
speak up.
Please speak up and tell them that it's not comfortable for you. But it was so nice. I think I might go back to her like one more time maybe before I give birth.
I was going to say, I wonder if it's the same girl that I had. I'm sure.
She was saying that it's like, I don't know if this is a marketing ploy to get me to come back, but she was just saying how it's like really good towards the end of pregnancy to just like loosen everything up. And she was saying that my lower back and like my butt and my hamstrings were just really, really tight. And she's like, it's good to just kind of get everything moving. And I will say, like, after I felt really good too, which is the best. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point, is you're supposed to feel relief. And I just, I love a massage. I love a prenatal massage. I will say it again. If you have a pregnant friend, that's the gift.
Yeah.
That's the gift you should get them. I don't know anyone who wouldn't like it. Like, it's just so nice.
That one that I gave you specifically is the one that I went to. And it is more like therapeutic massage, I feel like. It's not as much like a spa.
Yeah, but it felt really good.
Yeah.
And the environment was it was nice
Yeah.
and stuff. It wasn't like it was...
It's still relaxing.
Yeah, it was very relaxing.
But it feels amazing.
And yeah, I just left and I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I did that. And yeah, I made up for my
horrible
shocking experience. Yeah.
You're looking like a rich mom today. I love it.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Entering your rich MILF era.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I have no full-length mirrors still, so every day that I get ready, I'm like,
that was cute. You did good. Cute.
I never know about the shoes. I'm always asking Leif to like take a photo. I'm like, whoa. You know, shoes are very crucial. And I feel like sometimes like I was wearing these like very thin, these sneakers that are like my thinnest, most small sneakers basically with this certain outfit. I didn't check, like I didn't have a mirror and they were just like comfy. I saw a candid video of myself. My foot was 1 inch big. It was a deer hoof. I'm like, why am I wearing these shoes?
Yeah.
Because especially with like a big stomach, I'm like, oh, that did not look good at all. So the shoes are a crucial part. When you don't have a mirror to like see your whole outfit, you got to like take a selfie, like have Leif, I've been having him like hold up a phone or like literally vlog me because I'm like, well, I'm going to be on camera and I don't know if this even looks good, but I am ordering a just like door, like a mirror to hang on the back of the door.
You need a full length mirror.
You got to have one. Yeah. That's what I've realized.
Yeah.
That's like one of the key things I'm missing in this place. I'm like, I've got to order one off Amazon. So I'm ordering one today, but.
When a hotel room doesn't have a full length mirror.
Criminal.
Horrible.
Criminal.
Yeah, it's so bad.
You got to see the full look.
Yeah.
To make sure.
I know.
So anyway,
I swore to myself when I was going to, dress my kids that I would just have plain stuff all the time. But let me tell you something. The joy on their face when they have a pair of pajamas that have cars on them or animals that they love on them is beyond anything. And they literally look so cute in like a little outfit with something like dinosaurs on it or something. It really, it's one of those things that you say you're never going to do. And then you do it because it's just too dang cute. And so that's why I love Posh Peanut, one of our new sponsors. Not only do they have cute pajamas for your kids and other clothes, they also make their clothes super stretchy, which is amazing because when your kids are little or little babies, they grow out of some of their clothes so dang fast, like literally within months. And Posh Peanut gets it. So they make their clothes super stretchy so that you can get longer wear out of those adorable styles that they love. So they won't grow out of their favorite, car pajamas or strawberry pajamas or whatever it is. Posh Peanut makes thoughtfully crafted, beautiful, stylish clothing for kids and families, designed in-house from beautiful florals to your favorite brands such as Hot Wheels, like I said, Disney, Hello Kitty, and Barbie.
Their pieces are made with ridiculously soft viscose from bamboo that stays soft even after you wash them over and over again. And their high-quality fabric is 4 times stretchier than cotton, so it grows with your child. It's also breathable and chemical-free, which means they're delicate on your baby's sensitive skin. Posh Peanut is made for infants and kids, but they also have sizing for moms and dads if you want the whole family to match. And if you're not a parent, consider this the perfect gift idea for any little one. And Posh Peanut is loved by over 1 million parents and also adored by all your favorite celebrities and influencers. Can't say their names, but if you know, you know. Right now, Posh Peanut is offering our listeners 20% off your first order with promo code WhatWeSaid. Go to poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid and use promo code WhatWeSaid for 20% off your first order. That is poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid, promo code WhatWeSaid.
I have a question that I just thought of on the fly. What would you, and I'll tell you why I thought of this question, the
thought process?
Yeah, thought process that got me here. What would you say are top 3, if someone asked you about your lore, like JC Marie Smith's lore, what are the top 3 things you would say?
Wow. I wish I had more time to prepare for this question.
Well, I'll tell you one of mine that I thought of that made me think of this is like when we were talking about the prenatal massage, I was thinking about how I had one scheduled for like my 38-week appointment. And then that was the day my car got stolen. So I went out to go get the massage. I was so excited. And Nick's like, our car's gone. And that was the day our car got stolen. And I was thinking that's such a vital part of my lore that our car got stolen and the cup of it all. And
totally.
That we don't
talk about that enough.
No. And I was thinking everyone's got like 3 things in their life where it's just like, oh, that.
Yeah.
Like obviously the Kendall Jenner thing's an obvious one.
That's an obvious one. I mean, it's hard because I've honestly like because I've had such an extent, like it's been so long since I've been on the internet, like the first thing that comes to mind is like JC Marie presets, like my photography era. That's the first thing that I think like, okay, that was the first part of my lore online is like my travel blogging era, making presets and being a photographer, like that whole thing. I don't know that there's one thing I can like point to specifically.
I feel like the presets is good because that also extended beyond yourself.
That
was like a mark you left on the world.
I'll tell you what was another mark that I left on the world that was not positive that I was thinking about recently.
What?
It was my first cancellation, which is taking photos in the poppy fields.
Oh, yeah.
The way I got absolutely destroyed for taking photos in the poppy fields by like nature people. Like, I'm not kidding. I was like genuinely so shook by that. I couldn't believe. First of all, I will stand by the fact I never was like stomping on poppies or like doing anything that I felt was disrespectful at all. I was like so careful when I was shooting there. And there's like trails too. But also sometimes in my photos, I would like Photoshop more flowers. And so I think people literally thought I was like laying on the, whatever. I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, I got literally crucified for that. And like, so did anyone else who took photos there. It was like a big thing. It was like, you're ruining nature, which is fair, honestly. Like, but because in one of the photos, I like literally had a poppy in my mouth. So we maybe took that one a little too far. I don't think that I even like plucked it off. I really think it was like on the ground though. Anyway, you got me with that one.
I'm screaming.
That's not a crucial lore. I would say top 3 things that are coming to mind: Jason Marie presets, Kendall Jenner, and my homeowner.
Yeah, the homeowner.
Like those are the top 3 that are fresh, I guess. I'm trying to think if there's something in between there that would be like, I mean, like infertility. No, what was I just gonna say? Like that's not big enough I don't think that's big enough to be considered. Just like my photo getting stolen of Amber, like that whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's part. Or that's like not top 3, but it's sub lore.
Photo dump recipe, sub lore. Those are the mains.
So interesting.
What are yours?
I don't know if I have like
car is
the
crucial.
car is one of them.
Absolutely.
That's the only one I've thought of. That's the only one I was thinking. Like, I don't know if I have much
that you had a
more
different
lore.
name is very important.
True.
Jade Demure.
Yeah, Jade Demure. Oh, Jade Demure was part of my lore.
Oh,
yeah.
The Voice. Jade Demure and The Voice is number one.
That's one together.
Chelsea was on Snapchat. The Voice.
Mm-hmm. Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton's team.
He was my daddy.
Actually, that's crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like your health coaching vegan era as well as something.
Yeah, veganism maybe. I'm trying to think of more like, not personality traits, but like crazy things
like
that happen to me. Like stories more so.
The stolen car was diabolical.
Yeah, so insane.
But your life has been pretty smooth sailing since then.
I know, it's terrifying. I seriously pray every day. Yeah, I say keep this going, please. How about we say we keep these good vibes going?
What do we say?
Me and my prayers every night.
What do we say?
What do we say we keep these good vibes going, huh? Everything's good. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
I love that.
Maybe I have some like earlier on in my life that I'm trying to think, even from like high school, like my lifelong lore.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any.
Well, I'll be brainstorming.
Yeah. I need some more lore. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want any more lore. That was bad. Knock on wood.
Lore can be good.
Yeah, good lore. Mm-hmm. True. The Voice was good.
Yeah.
I was telling this on when I was on the Weekly Trash with Josie. Mm-hmm. I was telling her one of the most unmotivational things I've ever done in my life, speaking of Jade Demure, was when I was doing music. Mm-hmm. And there was this producer from Nashville who like was going to take his pick of the roster of like the agency I was with. And he like chose me to like come do a studio album.
I remember that.
Yeah. Or like an EP.
Yeah.
And I was going to fly out to Nashville and like work on this album with him. And it was kind of sketch from the start. Like it wasn't really, I don't know, super promising, but I was so young. I was like, cool.
We're going to
do it. Yeah. Like nothing crazy, but I was like, cool. I can't wait. Like he really likes my voice. He likes my vibe. Like he sees something in me.
Yeah.
And so he was like, why don't you write some songs and send them to me and we'll get started. So I wrote literally probably 7 or 8 songs. I didn't know how to write songs either. I'm just like, I'm not really a songwriter. Like, I like it, but I'm not that good. It's not like one of my talents. I have other talents. That was not one of my talents. But I wrote some songs and I recorded them as as well as I could have with my own iPhone and just whatever. And I sent it to him. And he was like, yeah, I would keep trying, like, keep working and send me. I was like, okay. And I quit. I quit music. My first no.
People are like, you got to keep on knocking on doors. You're like, yeah, I'm good.
It's going to take 100 no's before the yes. Literally the first no, I'm like, I don't think so. I literally quit.
That is hilarious. That is very unmotivating though. It's like, yeah, I keep working. It's like,
I just wrote 7 songs for you. And I thought they were good. Like, I'm going to write 7 more. Who am I, Taylor Swift? Like, that's why I knew I didn't have it in me. I'm like, this is not for me.
So I was going to say, that's a sign that you're not, you need to be on a different path if you're not feeling it.
I was kind of like, thought someone was going to write songs for me. I didn't think I was going to be the songwriter here.
Yeah.
But anyways, so.
I am screaming.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I felt the need to make I don't need to do this, but.
A song?
I'm going to. I'm like, I wrote a song. No. Last week, I was talking about how, like, I want to be more creatively aligned and whatever. I was like, oh, the photography of it all. And then after I left that recording, I was like, I shouldn't have brought that up again because I feel like I know no one said a word about it, by the way. This is completely my own projection. But I just hate when someone, like, complains about, like, the same thing. I wasn't really complaining, but when someone talks about the same thing over and over, but they do not make any changes, like, that is literally drives me insane for myself too. Yeah. And I was just thinking about how there's the fact that I've been talking about that for probably 2 years. I'll be like, yeah, I want to do, like, more creative shoots. I want to do, like, more photography. And then I just, like, don't.
I was going to say, I don't think you complain about that often.
Well, I don't know that I complain about it, but it's definitely.
That had, like, a different spin on it. That was more like I want to do a business or something.
Yeah. But I was also just saying, like, this is something that I've brought
Complaining
up a lot.
over and over again is fine if you have a different spin every time.
True. If you come at it from a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
No, I think what could come across as complaining is, like, how I feel like I've said this a lot on the podcast, this specific thing. I'll be like, oh, I don't understand how I got to a point where it's like, I'm the forward-facing one.
Yeah.
Like, I have always wanted to be more of a creative director or, like, a little bit more behind the scenes, but now I'm so forward-facing. And I guess I just wanted to say that, like, I also love that part of my job. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm going to literally quit the podcast and go into hiding and I want to become only a photographer. Again. It's like, I love being able to be forward-facing as well, but I want to add in more creative work behind the scenes that, like, I guess fills up a different side of, like, my cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally no one said anything and no one, to my knowledge, was even annoyed by that conversation. Yeah. But I just kept thinking about the fact that it's like, okay, girl, if you're going to keep saying, I want to do photography, I want to whatever, it's like, then do it. Like, no one's stopping you. And I don't want it to come across as, like, oh, I hate being an influencer and now I'm just shackled to it. Because that's not it. Like, I love it.
That makes sense.
Very grateful for it. But I think adding in some of the behind the scenes and like doing my own type of business, like, I think that could be a good addition. And maybe that would take up more of my time, so I wouldn't be able to do as much of, like, brand deals for other companies or something. But maybe that would be the goal moving
Being
forward.
Influencer is just not enough.
Like, it will never be enough for me. So
you need more. Yeah.
Anyway, wanted to clarify.
Nice.
No one cares. So
it's okay. Does anyone care about anything we say on here?
No.
Like, I almost came on here and complained about my hair again, and I was like, this is just
next level.
Yeah, next level. But something when it's on your mind all the time, it's like, how can I not complain about it?
I know.
Every time I do my hair, I'm like, please grow. Please, something's got to change.
Something's got to give.
And that's kind of the same thing. I could do something about it. Like, I really could, but I won't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to.
There's not that much you can do.
Yeah, actually, no.
That.
Because I don't want to color it because I don't want to. This is all my natural color now, I think. Like, I think all of my coloring I've ever done has grown out.
Wow.
Maybe it's like
nice.
down here, but so it's all my natural color. It's like, I'm starting from scratch.
Nice.
If anyone's ever been in this stage, you know. Like, it's just the middle.
It's your
ground.
raw form.
Yeah. And also, Nick was about to shave his head, and I said, take it from me. I am in this stage where, yeah, you want to, if you're thinking about cutting your hair short in any form or fashion, I think it is so fun. And when I love it, I love it. But unless you are committed to having short hair for 5 years,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Really?
It's not just something you can like undo super fast.
Right.
Unless your hair grows so fast, unless you're one of those people.
It's so hard. It's like every girl I feel like goes through the same thing. Like, I would never be so bold as to cut my hair when I'm 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, let's make that very clear. Or even when I'm postpartum. But like, it does just get to a point. I feel like when your hair gets really long, you're just like, I want something fresh. Yeah. Like, I have always hated when I cut my hair. Mm-hmm. There's not been one time that I've liked it. Like, there are certain days where I'm like, oh, it looks kind of cute, styled. But I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I've never had short hair since having my chin. And that to me has shifted things a little bit where I'm like, maybe I would like it because I feel like I didn't have like the best face shape before for short hair, but now maybe that I have a little bit more of like a jawline, I would like it. But I fear I wouldn't still. So
I know.
It's just hard. Alo Moves. This is an app that I actually truly believe is really worth it. Okay. They have so many different resources and classes on this app. And I personally love their meditation classes and also their Pilates flows that they have. So if you guys remember last summer, I actually was able to go to Hawaii with Alo Moves, and I was able to take the classes from some of the instructors that teach on that app in person. And it was such an actually like beautiful experience that truly changed the game for me, especially when it comes to meditation, because I was not super into meditating before. I just could never really get into it. But they have different lengths of classes, and I think it's really cool that they have different meditation classes. Some are super short, and sometimes you just need that to like get you into the routine. And they're so relaxing. The Pilates flows are so nice. I have used this app a lot throughout my pregnancy when I haven't felt up to going physically to a gym. I also think this is a great app to have for the summer to obviously like stay in shape and stay feeling good and have a fun, health and wellness routine. But it also allows you, like if you have travel plans coming up, that can be sometimes stressful if you're trying to be on some sort of like wellness or fitness schedule, but then you're going on trips and you're like, oh, how am I going to keep it up? I feel like Alo Moves is so nice because you can do these flows and stuff with like very minimal equipment. They're different lengths. Like I said, you can do super quick classes or longer ones. You can do them in the comfort of your home, your hotel room. So it is such a good investment and I just love it.
They have everything. There's yoga, Pilates, strength workouts, meditation, sound baths, nutrition tips, self-care tutorials, and so much more. They have over 100 new classes every month. So Alo Moves keeps you hooked and motivated, and they just have a constant stream of fresh vibes for your wellness journey. Stay on top of your wellness routine no matter where you go. Sign up for Alo Moves today. Join alomoves.com and use code WhatWeSaid for an exclusive 30-day free trial. Plus, enjoy 20% off an annual membership. That's alomoves.com, code WhatWeSaid for a 30-day free trial and 20% off an annual membership. alomoves.com, code WhatWeSaid. The thing is you might even love it. That's not even the problem. You probably would look so good with it and so cute. But the problem is that it can't be undone whenever you want.
Yeah. If you want to go back, it's going to be a long time.
Yeah. Like I actually love, even right now, it's like I love the way it looks per se, but I just have no other options to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can't really put it back, kind of.
Can't braid
but it takes
can't
a million.
Put it in a pony.
No, it's not really like a slick back look if I put it. And even when I was like trying to go on a walk, like my hair was just getting on my neck. I'm like, this is driving me absolutely crazy. It just can't be undone fast, and that's the problem. Is
you know what I feel as though
short-term satisfaction.
I feel as though if you have long hair, I'm speaking to myself, like you need to take advantage and do it more often.
Yeah,
because I think like if you have the means to be doing a braid or a whatever, any sort of half up, half down, like I mean you can do that with short hair too. A blowout, like if you're I don't know. Then it's like you should be doing that, right? Because then once you cut your hair, you're going to be like, oh, well, now I can't do it. And it's like, well, did you ever do it before? I'm speaking to myself. Because a lot of times I just have my hair down. I feel like that's 90% of my life. I just have like, not really do anything to it.
Yeah.
Which,
what?
I wanted to talk about that. I saw some video or post about like hair theory. And it was just like talking about how much doing your hair like elevates your look. And it was like showing examples. And I was like, that's
like doing something with it or what?
Just styling it. Like if you feel, I forget what video it was. It was a video about personal style, but she was basically saying like, if you're feeling very just like blah with your outfits and stuff, like try doing your hair different or like styling your hair in a certain way. And I really do believe that. That's like the easiest. It's like, yeah, duh. But you know, if you sometimes like, for me, if I have kind of like a bigger baggier outfit and then my hair's also down,
drags it down.
It drags the eye down. But like if I have a baggier outfit and then I put my hair like slicked back and it's like up in a braid, like a slick back braid or a bun, I see the photos. I'm like, wait, I love it. And it's like because you did your hair.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of ways to do your hair. I don't really do my hair, style my hair different very often. But.
I know. I was looking at all of our tour looks and just, this is the problem. Okay, this is what I'm going through is I will look at pictures. So I love my short hair, but it is kind of just like one look. And that's the problem is it's like I get sick of it. And if I cut it shorter, it would be really cute. But then I'm stuck with short hair for even longer. You know what I mean? It's like I either commit to a lifetime of short hair by keep cutting it all the time, or I just have to go through this middle ground where it's just growing out.
Like an awkward stage.
Yeah, and I was looking at all of our tour photos and just like how fun the hair was and the looks. And I'm like, I had extensions in too. So it was like extra long, fun hair. And it was just making me so sad.
It is, you have a lot more options. But I will say, like, I'm picturing there are some short hairstyles that you could definitely
like
do
half
that are
up,
cute.
half down. Yeah.
Even the way you did your hair recently where you like slicked half of it was so cute. Yeah. And it looked like
I
so
did have a
good.
mental breakdown when I was doing that.
Really?
That hairstyle.
I thought your hair looked the best it's looked in.
No.
So,
it looked
so
good,
cute.
but doing it was like one of those moments I wanted to hit my brush on my head.
I feel that deeply.
Getting the slick. And
getting the slicked.
Yeah.
You know what? I've found a very good formula for a slick.
What?
I'll share it later. We don't need to go on this tangent for maybe next week.
A hair tangent.
Yeah. But there are so many ways. Like sometimes I'll see people's. I've just never been good at styling my. Like I've never really learned. I don't know how to French braid. Like I've been thinking about. You know, like it's even cute when you're on vacation to have like 2 French braids with like a certain outfit. That even is a look.
Yeah.
If you're on like a beach vacation and you're in a workout set, I'm like, oh, I want to do like. I don't know how to even braid my hair though. I was thinking I might need to learn once I have a daughter. Right? Probably need to learn how to do hair better.
Yeah, it'll probably come.
So
you can practice on her. It's like a little doll.
Yeah. I don't know. We have a while till we have to be doing that, but Anyway, I do think that that's a good thing to keep in mind though. Consider if you're like feeling very blah, like switch up how you do your hair and maybe
I'll shave my head.
Yeah. Not even that you have to get a haircut, just like literally do your hair different than you, or put a little more effort into it. Because I feel like for me, especially being pregnant, like if I, which granted, I'm like this most of the time. My friend was saying the other day, she's like, oh my gosh, your pregnancy outfits have been so cute. Like you always look so put together. I'm like, okay, I'm fooling everyone because I feel like day to day, like I'm in a sweat set with my hair thrown up. But I will say that's normal. But I will say when I do get ready, I'm like, I honestly do feel like really good and I feel beautiful. Yeah. It's when I'm in a massive pajama sweat set that's dragging on the floor and my hair is in a messy bun and it's greasy. I'm not feeling cute. At all.
Yeah, 100%.
Being pregnant. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like elevated when you're. It's like.
Very, That's not to go back to short hair. Me and Abby were talking about it because Abby just cut her hair way shorter and hers is so cute and it's curly. And, but we were talking about how when you wake up with short hair, the pros of having short, chic hair is like when you wear outfits, it looks cute and chic and, you know.
It's kind of a look.
Yeah, it's a look. But when you wake up in the morning and it's kind of, you know, you got like a
messy.
big t-shirt on or something, it's not giving. Like it's giving boy. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling feminine by any means. Like, and Abby was saying the same thing. She's like, I wake up and I'm like, I need to get something feminine immediately.
That's fair.
Like I'm not waking up with like, oh, I just have, you know.
When it's not styled.
Yeah, like bedhead. Bedhead when you have short hair is like, it's giving 5th grader boy.
Yeah. I see that.
But anyways.
Anywho.
I love myself. I love my hair. I'm so grateful for it.
Slay.
That's what I'm going to say to myself every morning.
Should we get into some advice?
It's like, first one, should I cut my hair? No.
Don't ever.
Kidding. No,
I do definitely strongly advise against cutting your hair if you have any sort of big event or like life change. Like if you've just gone through a breakup or you've just gone through, I mean, maybe not. Some people I feel like they feel very free. Like they'll cut their hair and it's like a good change. But I just feel as though sometimes
restart.
Yeah. So I guess that's not for everyone, but I feel like sometimes when you're having any sort of like big life change, it's easy to be like, oh, what could I do that's crazy? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just chop my hair, and then you do it and you're like, wow. Yeah. Maybe not.
Yeah, exactly.
So
unless you are, that is truly, I will end with that. My advice is if you're going to cut your hair, I love my short hair. Unless you are going to commit to having short hair as your look for years, don't do it. Don't do it if you're just like, this summer I want short hair, because guess what? In the fall, you're not going to have short hair. You're going to have medium length hair and you're not going to have long hair. So, you know, you have to be okay with that. Yeah. I think I'm going to get my hair cut after this. I think I'm just going to keep my short hair.
Really?
I'm going to text Tracy right now.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to be annoyed. I don't want to say this because I feel like you will be annoyed by it. I do think that your hair short is literally such a look.
Thank you.
Like, I agree think it is such a vibe. Like, specifically on you, your features, and like I think you look beautiful with long hair too, but like I do think that your short hair like looks so fitting on you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I get scared
and I want to grow it out when I want a little more like cushion, maybe like variety, where I'm like, oh, but I want to be able to have like a long thing, and I feel like you can't put extensions in when I have like blunt super short hair. But I think I'm gonna do it. Thank you guys for walking me through that. For 30 minutes.
What? You're gonna cut it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go cut it.
You're lying.
When I was pregnant, I had the same thing where it got to this length and I was just like, I hate my hair every day. I hate it with my outfits. And then I was like, I'm just going to cut it again, whatever. And I cut it short again. And I was like, I look so cute. But it just grows so fast. So you just have to keep it maintained. Anyways, let's get on with this advice. I'm sick of talking about my hair.
Let's get on to the haircut.
Yeah. Tracy, expect a text from me.
Next week, just a tiny bob. Oh yeah, I want to keep going on that tangent, but I agree. We need to stop. Okay, can't wait to see the haircut.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
go ahead.
This podcast is sponsored by ByHeart. ByHeart is an infant nutrition company built from the ground up to deliver real innovation on behalf of babies and parents. Their mission is simple: make the best formula in the world. As a parent, it can be so stressful, all the little things you have to decide for your baby, especially when they're so little. They seem so fragile and you just want to give them the best. And one of the things that can be kind of stressful is finding good formula. If you're wanting to supplement with formula, or if you are doing formula feeding from the start, whatever it is that is your situation, ByHeart is your answer. ByHeart is here and they are to be trusted. So this year, our friends at ByHeart, the only American-made formula with globally sourced ingredients to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, never skim, are celebrating the ways in which they never skim on anything, especially your babies. Whole milk is full of healthy fats like naturally occurring MFGM, which play an important part in babies' brain development and growth. Also, ByHeart never skims on protein. Their patented protein blend gets closest to breast milk thanks to the 2 most abundant proteins found in breast milk, plus broken down proteins. And even better, ByHeart never skims on their standards. Their formula is made with certified clean ingredients, plus it has no soy, corn syrup, GMOs, or palm oil. A lot of formula companies do use skim milk, so again, they are the only American-made formula with globally sourced ingredients to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, which is awesome. So if you're curious about ByHeart, you can redeem your welcome offer at byheart.com/podcast with code WhatWeSaid20 for a limited time. Additional terms and conditions apply. Again, the code is WhatWeSaid20. Go check it out. I just had my first baby. Everyone will tell you pregnancy is beautiful and a blessing, but to be honest, it's left me feeling shattered. Pregnancy was brutal for me, and I feel like I no longer recognize myself on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. Advice for a first-time mom. When do you start to feel normal again, or do you have encouragement for all women in pregnancy and postpartum stages? Well, don't cut your hair.
Yeah. Well, first step, don't chop the hair.
Yeah, don't do anything
Very
drastic to your hair. No. Even though I feel like we have had this kind of sentiment before on our advice columns, and we often get similar problems, just different situations, I guess. But I do think it's nice to talk about it every so often as a reminder that everyone's kind of going through it at the same time. Like, you're not alone if you are, everyone's experience is different with pregnancy, postpartum, whatever it is. And so there will be people who are experiencing it the same way as you. Whether you love it and you can relate to other people who are like, I've never felt better. I actually feel more beautiful than I ever have, or opposite or in the middle.
Yeah.
There's going to be people who relate to you. And it's nice to kind of hear every once in a while someone who's going through the same thing as you.
All over the spectrum.
Yeah, because I can relate to you in that. I love pregnancy in so many ways, but one of the ways that it's hard for me is because of the changing. And as someone who has experienced just body image issues, eating disorders past, it can be very
triggering.
Yeah, just triggering and just hard to navigate because it's a real challenge in some ways to be okay, this is going to be a real I got to look myself in the mirror and really take this head on. I can't just kind of oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm used to my body now. It's okay, it's changing. I'm taking this day by day and I have to really work on it, which, some days it's good and I feel better than ever. And some days I'm just okay, hey, everything, this is so annoying. I'm so just upset that I feel this way. Even I feel bad that I feel bad because this is such a blessing and I love it in so many ways. But I also, some days it's all I think about, if I'm being honest, postpartum, especially when you're pregnant, you do feel there's always this cushion of, well, I'm pregnant. So it's I have this baby in me. So even if I'm feeling or
it's an excuse, not an excuse, but you're well, I kind of have a reason to be feeling like this. Yeah.
For me, postpartum is sometimes, both times with both of my pregnancies, I've always felt I can't really fit my clothes, but whatever. And then postpartum is where I start to kind of freak out a little bit because then I feel I have expectations for myself where I'm wait, I'm not immediately fitting back into my pre-pregnancy clothes. It's hard to dress when you have a different body because all of your clothes you bought for a different body. So now you're trying to make it look the same but you're also trying to adjust to the changes. It can be a lot. So, I honestly don't even have advice for you. Just that it's normal and it will get better. That's the one blessing I have this time is I just know it will get better. Not that your body will necessarily get better. It may or it may not, but that with time, it just comes acceptance. Last time I was freaking out because I was just will I ever feel
normal again?
Yeah, I'm comfortable in my body again. Will I ever like my body again? And then, as time goes on, I'm oh, okay, why was I? And I remember a year postpartum looking back and be Chelsea, why were you freaking out? 3 months after you had a baby, you need to relax. And so this time I'm trying to tell myself that okay, in a year, you will look back at this time and be you just need to be easy on yourself. Give yourself grace. Don't compare yourself. That's the other thing. I would literally last time be okay, this girl is also 8 weeks postpartum. Or this girl's also 3 months postpartum. How does she look? Where's her stomach at? That is the worst thing you could do. That's the most
toxic of all, I feel for your own mental health. Yeah. Do you know what's crazy is I have been really reflecting on times. So there were times when I was doing IVF or I was between IVF treatments and I felt just super bloated and stuff from shots and I just didn't feel like myself. And not to invalidate my own feelings, but it is absolutely it's actually crazy for me to look back on the photos that I did not post because I remember being oh, I don't look good. Yeah. And oh, I look just whatever. I look bloated. I look this and that. And maybe it's because my stomach is now much bigger. But when I look at those photos, I am actually stunned because I'm you look completely normal. You don't even look bloated. No. It's so crazy how I don't know. I'm just saying this to validate you. I feel like every girl I know just has some sort of like, I don't
like
even
you're
want
your own worst critic.
Yes. You just critique yourself so much. And there have been just photos that I can remember not posting because I thought that I just like looked bad or like my arms look too big or whatever. And I look back and I'm like,
what?
I'm actually like shook. Yeah. I just look completely normal. It's like, what were you seeing? It feels like you were literally, which maybe that's literally what body dysmorphia is, but it's like, it feels like
that. I think that must be a universal experience. Maybe it's not, because I've done the exact same thing where even I was looking at pictures of when I gave birth to Case, and I like didn't want to post any pictures of me like right after, even in the hospital, because I'm like, my face is so like puffy and bloated. And granted, it was like more so than it usually is, but I just remember being like, this can't see the light of day. And then looking back on it, I'm like,
it's like not even.
Yeah, I look puffy, but it's not like I look like literally an ogre. Like, I look fine.
Even some of these TikTok trends I've been seeing, it's like, oh, my face when I'm not pregnant and then my face when I'm pregnant. I've seen that. And like some of them that I see, I'm like, no, you still look great. Like I'm genuinely so serious. Like I'm expecting this like crazy change. And then I'm like, you literally look the same. Like you're a little puffy, but like, you just gave birth or you're 9 months pregnant. Like that makes sense.
Exactly.
And I've been trying, like I'm trying already to like
see yourself
I'm like, I need to see myself, because there are certain body changes that I am uncomfortable with at this point where I'm just like, oh, like that's a little, like I feel a little whatever in this way, but I'm trying to already be like, who cares? And you look great. That's because great. I'm sure in a year I'll look back and be like,
exactly,
you look fine. Like it's
look
not a big
so
deal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you look beautiful. And that was a chapter also of your life. You're literally growing a human being. Like it's not that, it's not that deep.
Yeah. And that's the worst part about body image issues, which it's like, it's so hard to ignore, honestly. I think it was, what's her name? Busy Phillips? Wait, is her name Busy?
Who's that?
Phillips?
I don't know who that is.
She's like, I don't even know what she does. She's like a comedian. Oh my gosh, I think her name's Busy. She had this quote basically where someone was asking her about like, how do you feel about people who do Ozempic? And Busy Phillips.
Not me covering my arms.
Right now?
I'm like, how am I looking like?
As you're talking, we're like,
I'm like,
also
sucking in. I'm kidding.
Busy Phillips. Okay, she had this, I can't remember exactly what she said, but the sentiment was, he was like, what do you think about people who do Ozempic? And she was like, I think it's great. She's like, literally, it's so hard. We feel like personally we have to fight against society who tells us like we have to look thinner. And if we're thinner, then society will treat us better. Society tells us if we're thinner, like we will get treated better. And she was like, honestly, it is true. So if we want to get thin for ourselves, like don't get mad at us. Like get mad at this, this
system.
Yeah, the system that makes us feel this way. And like, I think it's hard to have body image issues, want to change, and then feel bad for wanting to change. Right. It's like so layered where it's like, okay,
it's a cycle.
Take away the guilt and see where you're at.
Yeah.
If you're okay with your body, that's great.
And
if you want to change it, that's
out
great.
Of the equation.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, this is maybe like a unique angle, but I've said this before, even with like my chin and stuff. When I would film for YouTube, it was always on my mind. Like just literally there was not a day that went by where I was just like, oh, I don't like the way this looks. And granted, it's hard because it is hard for me to speak about this stuff because it's like, well, then I literally got plastic surgery and I feel like it changed my life for the better. And it actually did kind of fix that insecurity for me in a way. So, it's layered because it's like, well, I do feel better about that now. Yeah. But I think I mentioned this like in one of our episodes that we did about when you tallied up how much it would be to like do all the different wellness, basically keep up beauty standards as a woman. But it didn't end there is what I'm saying. Like that did not fix, there are now other things that I focus on where when I'm filming, I'm like, oh, I don't like how this looks, or I don't like this angle and whatever else. And I think it's like a whole other element to be like filming yourself and looking back and critiquing literally the way you look and the angles. Like it's just, it's a whole other thing to be like
confronted with it.
Daily, weekly, and knowing that other people are perceiving you. It's like, but if you my point is, if you take all of that away, it's like, why does it really
it doesn't matter
at all, like how anyone perceives me or how I look? And I always think about that, like when I'm watching a podcast, because like sometimes even when we're filming the podcast, I'm like, well, I want to like look good and I want, and it's just like when I'm watching a podcast, I'm not thinking
their hair is messed up
at all. I literally don't think about that at all.
No,
I don't think about how I'm not like looking at their outfit and how it's falling and like seeing their hair. It's like I couldn't care less. It's just so weird.
I know, it's so true. It's hard because I think even it would be hard to be in high school or I don't know, just young in this day and age where you're kind of getting filmed all the time anyways. Even if you're not an influencer, it's like your friends are Snapchatting you, you're seeing videos of yourself, you're making TikToks for yourself. Like you're seeing yourself all the time as well, where I don't think we did half as much as like kids would be these days.
No, definitely not.
And so then you're just constantly picking yourself apart where it's like, you have to, I guess there's part of me that's like, well, you have to just, this is maybe toxic, but you do, it's kind of the chin thing. It's like, you do have to see it every day. So if it's like,
going to like bother you every...
What's the balance of like, okay, I'm going to fight against this. I'm going to fight against society's pressures every day of my life.
Right.
Like, that's exhausting. Like, yeah, I guess if we all did it at the same time, but do I have to do it by myself?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like to fight against something every single day is exhausting. And if you're willing to do that, great. If you're not and you want to do something to like fix it, I guess I don't blame you.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's not fun to like hate
yourself
something about yourself every single day
and not be able to stop thinking about it.
You know, it's like if it's something that bothers you.
Yeah.
Where that's kind of what Busy Phillips was saying. She was like, okay, you guys make it like men make it so that, you know, women are more valuable if they're thin and then they get mad if we take Ozempic.
Right.
It's like, what do you want us to do? Like, we're just trying to keep up here. Like, anyways.
It's a huge cycle.
Yeah.
Lipton has their new green tea, and it is a proactive wellness hack to support overall health. 2 cups a day delivers a quick and simple win on our individual health and wellness journeys thanks to the goodness of flavonoids. So their new signature blend green tea is a proprietary blend balanced with a hint of jasmine green tea to deliver a delicate floral fragrance and a smooth, refreshing, easy-to-sip taste. And there's 100 milligrams of flavonoids per 8-ounce cup. They also have their new lemon peach and honey ginger green tea, which is a fresh fruit-inspired experience crafted with a signature green tea base and blended with ingredients to impart the taste of real squeezed fruit. 75 milligrams of flavonoids in that one per 8-ounce cup. I feel like if you drink tea, whether you're doing it in the morning, midday, at night, it's just such like an elevated thing to add to your routine. If I'm drinking tea, I'm feeling like my life is together.
So 2 cups of Lipton green tea can help support health by providing approximately the same amount of flavonoids as eating 8 cups of raw kale. So green tea contains flavonoids, which are naturally occurring bioactives found in tea, vegetables, and fruit. Just 2 cups a day is an easy way to help support your health. Lipton green tea is a delicious way of getting these bioactives, flavonoids in your diet. So maybe if you're not, super big into eating your greens every day, this is a great way to not only feel healthy, but actually get the benefits from it. Lipton is the most loved and trusted tea brand since 1871, which, they know their stuff, okay? So try new Lipton green tea. Again, that's Lipton green tea. To answer your question, I guess, the advice is that
we're all feeling the same exact way, no matter,
there
honestly.
Is no advice.
I feel like even the most gorgeous...
I've never known peace. I thought that you were going to say.
I've never known peace a day in my life. I have never known a girl, like the reason I always try and bring this up is like the most drop dead gorgeous people that I know have tons of insecurities.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't like that angle. Can we take that again? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, I'm like, you're the prettiest person I know. Mm-hmm. And they still are constantly tearing themselves apart. I just feel like it's worth noting that it doesn't matter who you are. Like, I just feel like you're going to have those things. I mean, that's not the postpartum thing.
The best advice I actually realistically
was she even talking about her body? I'm like, not
she
her.
no longer recognizes herself physical, emotional, spiritual level. Okay. Well, we touched on physical. Like the most important thing.
The most important of all, the appearance. That's literally all we've talked about for 30 minutes. So sorry about that.
Right up to the 30-minute hair talk. Like, just forget the emotional, spiritual level. Who cares?
We're like, Ozempic would be great.
Yeah.
No.
I think, this actually can apply to emotional and spiritual levels of, instead of trying to convince yourself it's okay, try to, what actually helps me, and I don't know if this will help you, is I say to myself, like, just don't waste your time worrying about this right now. Like, I know you're worried about it. It's okay. Let's just not waste your time. We've got other things to do, like other things to think about. Let's move on. And that's all that helps me, is like, just be like, okay, well, I can't change it right now. So let's just move on with the day.
Kind of, I don't have to convince myself to a degree. Not like accepting that
this is how it will always be.
Yeah, but just kind of being like you said, like, I'll worry about this later. This is what it is right now. Yeah. That helps me a lot too, honestly. Yeah. With everything. Even emotionally and spiritually. It's like, if there's things you're really worried about, it's like, okay, I'm just going through it right now. I don't have to fix it. I got other things to do. I gotta go grocery shopping. Yeah, exactly. I gotta feed the kids, there's other things. Totally. Okay, one of my bridesmaids for my wedding has blue hair right now. Am I selfish for wanting her to change her hair?
More hair talk.
Am I selfish for wanting her to change her hair to a more natural color for my wedding? If so, how do I do that? My wedding is in May 2025. Okay, so you got a year.
You got time. I would want someone probably to change it, honestly.
Like, I'm not good with the blue hair at my wedding, I don't think. I mean, just as a bridesmaid, you're going to be in all the photos.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if that's like her signature look.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's her vibe.
If it's like
that
would be rude
look, to be like, can you change it for me? If it was like a one-off thing she did. Do you know what that reminds me of a story about me. Remember when I did that American Airlines like campaign thing and I went to Brazil and all that stuff?
Yeah. Part of your lore.
That is part of my lore. I had just dyed my hair blonde. I've been a redhead for 10 years.
Yeah.
Dyed my hair blonde like the month before or whatever. And they were like, can you dye it back? Like they literally requested, they're like, can you please dye, like, because they wanted to hire, I think my red hair maybe was a part of what they wanted.
Yeah.
But I literally said no. I was like, no, like I just went blonde. I bleached my whole head.
Yeah.
Literally like 3 weeks before. And they had never made that clear that was like a part of the agreement at all. And
like it wasn't in your contract.
No. And I didn't know. Yeah. Anyway, I have blonde hair in that whole campaign, which is just so funny because it was like not my signature look at all. And that's probably
short blonde hair.
Yeah. Short blonde hair. They're probably like, cool. I think I already had short hair, but it was red at the time. Maybe that they like scouted me for that, and then I dyed anyway.
Sorry, American Airlines.
Sorry. Anyway, I would say I would not want her to have blue hair at my wedding. But again, if she's had blue hair for 5 years, then I don't feel like you can ask her to change it.
Maybe just bring it up lightheartedly. Like, don't have like a serious, because I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, if she means a lot to you and she's like, I will not dye my hair, like, are you willing to not have her in your wedding? If that's the case, like, you literally are okay. If she's just like, no, this is part of me. If you're going to be okay with her saying no, just like lightheartedly bring it up, like, hey, I know we got a year, so I'm just seeing your vibes.
Like how long are we going to have the blue hair for?
What's the blue hair situation for the wedding photos?
Yeah.
Like,
wig? Just kidding.
Wig? Wig.
What do you think about a brunette wig?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're selfish for wanting that.
No.
Especially if you're having like a very classic, it depends on your vibe.
Exactly.
Okay.
Help with how to deal with disappointment when the first friend to get married can't show up for you when it's your turn because she now has kids. I don't want to be toxic, mean, or come off as not understanding, but it still hurts and I wish she could be there for my big moments too. Obviously, having kids changes things a little, but I really wish she could be there. We live in the same city.
Hold on. She can't come to her wedding because she has kids?
Obviously.
So she said?
I think just she could be there for my big moments too, maybe. Maybe she's, I don't know, she didn't give any more details, but maybe that she's just not as involved.
Wait, why did I think you said something about a wedding though? Did you? At the beginning? Did I literally just like invent that?
When the first friend to get married can't show up for you when it's your turn.
Oh, when the first friend to get married can't show up when it's your turn. So does that mean she's now getting married?
For you when it's your turn. Maybe. I don't want to be toxic, mean, or come up. Still hurts. Wish she could be there for my big moments too. Obviously, having kids changed a little. I wish she could be there.
I wish she could be there at my wedding. I feel like that's what she's saying.
I feel as though she's saying like,
be there for me.
Yeah, just like be as present and as involved maybe as she was.
Okay, can we save this conversation for next week, because we're talking all about friendship fights, and I have a lot to say about like
the wedding thing.
Just like the different life stages and like stuff like that. I feel like we should save this conversation, because then we're gonna have like the same conversation twice.
Okay.
So
stay tuned for next
Tuesday for that one, because I feel like there was a very common theme in those of like my friends isn't showing up for me because she's in this life stage. Is she selfish or am I selfish? Like there was a lot of that, and I feel like we could talk more about that.
Gotcha. All right, I'll read the next one then.
Okay.
Anytime I think I'm ready to start trying for baby number 2, I get so sad thinking about my firstborn not being my only baby. I want a second baby and I want my daughter to grow up with a sibling, but how do I deal with these feelings and holding me back? Okay, I will give you a very short advice for this, is because I felt the same way for a long time. If you were to ask me when Case was like 1, like, are you going to have another kid soon? I'd be like, I don't think so. Like, I don't want a kid soon. I don't know when. I know I kind of want one in the future, but I'm not ready. Like, no. And then one day it just was like, okay, it's time. Mm-hmm. Even then, when I got pregnant, I was really sad about that specific thing. Like, oh my gosh, Case is not going to be my only baby anymore. Like, this is so weird. And throughout my pregnancy, I kind of had to like deal with that the most, which was, I didn't expect that to be like a theme that I was always thinking about. Like, oh, how am I going to love 2? How am I going to, spread my love? Like, am I going to love them the same? Like, just
How do you feel now? I haven't asked you that. I wanted to ask you that on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, is Elwood a little less?
I'm like, my heart didn't grow.
Like, do you feel like immediately you were like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what everyone says. Like, your heart just...
I will say, this is what I want to say to you, because I guess I heard this and I still was kind of, you're just going to have to mourn the fact that they're not your first anymore. For me, it was during my pregnancy, and even as I was saying my birth story, how right before, like I was like sobbing uncontrollably right before I gave birth. And I feel like I had to do that to like move on. And as soon as he was born, even now I'm like, how did I only have one kid? Like, I don't even remember. It just feels
natural.
Yeah, it was like instantly, okay, this is my baby. I love him so much. It really is like, as cheesy as it is.
Your heart just grows.
Yeah, you just love them both. You just love them differently, I guess, but the same. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they are so different in my mind. It's not, they're not the same, but they're so like loved and so cherished in my heart the same way. It's so weird. Yeah. And I truly believe my parents now when they say they don't like love any of us more. Yeah. Like we would, I honestly didn't believe that before. But I honestly didn't believe my parents before when they'd be like, no, we don't have favorites.
Yeah,
I'd be like, come on, you got to love one of us more. Yeah. And I could see when they get older, if one of them's nicer to you wanting to be around them more. If one of them's like funner to be around, be like, okay, I'd prefer to be around them, but like you love them the same. Yeah. It's like I would die for both of my kids, you know? And so it was, I had to mourn that, but then immediately it was just like, why was that a fear? Like even with the gender thing, like I was like, oh, I want a girl. Like, I think this one's going to be a girl. And then it was a boy and I was like kind of sad about it for a little bit. And then now I'm like, I can't even picture it being a girl. Like it's just so perfect that he's a boy. I'm like obsessed with him. I wouldn't want anything different.
Yeah.
It's just, you're going to worry about it, but don't, because it's going to be fine. You're going to like love them.
It will all work out.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. And seeing them as siblings is so fun. Everyone would tell me that too. Like, well, just wait till you see them together.
Yeah, that's so fun.
And seeing them together just makes it just so worth it.
So special.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to take a quick ad break to talk about the Nike Indie Bra and the Universa legging. We are so excited about this sponsorship. We've both been wearing Nike gear since we were teenagers for any sports we were in or physical activities. We always know that we can rely on Nike. So how do you take your breaks? Do you go for a walk or a workout class? Do you like to meal plan, run to the grocery store, maybe grab coffee with a friend? You can do all of that and more in style with the Nike Indie Bra and Universa legging. The Indie Bra now comes in 3 support levels, low, medium, and high. I personally like a high support, secure feeling bra for when I'm running or doing a cycling class, but I don't want to be wearing that all day. I like something lighter with thinner straps and smoother edges for running errands or doing things around the house. And luckily, the Nike Indie Bra has both of those options and a medium option for the in-between. All 3 are so soft and look so flattering on. The Nike Universal leggings are perfect to pair with the Indie Bra. They really help smooth and lift, stretching freely with your every move. Wherever your workout takes you, their squat-proof, mid-weight, and finished smooth fabric gives you uncompromising comfort and feels cool and sleek to the touch. Plus, they're durable enough for you to flex, wash, and wear again and again. They're the pair you'll reach for whether you need something for your everyday run, everyday practice, or just every day. Find your feel with Nike bras and leggings that deliver supportive flexibility and comfort for whatever your day brings. Shop now at Nike.com, and that will be linked in the show notes for you guys, as always. I really want to travel, but need to do it on a budget. Any tips for traveling internationally while keeping it wallet friendly? Love you guys in the pod. Hope the babies are doing well. Thank you. That's very sweet. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is that you should go in a group, if at all possible. Because that really does cut the cost, like, of where you're staying. You know, if I think about the trips that I've gone on with, like, couple friends or, like, girls' trips where if I'm just going with Leif, like, and we, you know, we're sharing money. So if we're paying for an Airbnb, like, and food, that's all on us. But if you are going on a trip with a group of people, then maybe you have to get a bit of a bigger Airbnb, but you are all splitting the cost of it. Same with food. Like if you go, I personally really like, it actually depends on the type of trip. I think when you're going international, it depends on the location. It's nice to get an Airbnb and split it because you can all be kind of like, I feel like a group trip in hotels, that can be fun. It just kind of separates you a lot. You're not as like, it's not as communal.
It's true.
Which it just depends on the vibe of the trip. But even the food thing, like if there's a kitchen in the Airbnb, then you guys can all be like, you can go on a big grocery run together, make dinners, make breakfast, have cereal or fruit in the morning, and like you're splitting that cost. And also that does make it cheaper as well to be making food at the Airbnb and like grocery shopping versus going out for every single meal, which I feel like sometimes at hotels it can be pricier with food because room service is often pretty expensive and you like don't have you don't have a kitchen. So it's like you kind of have to pay for room service or go out for every single meal. So I feel like those are two of my tips. Obviously, just like booking in advance, if at all possible, will probably make flights and hotels cheaper than if you're like try to book something in the next, month or something. Like if you plan a little more, save up for a specific trip. Trying to think of what else. She said international.
Yeah. What do you think about, because there's probably more expensive times to travel, correct?
Yeah, definitely, depending on where you're going.
Like you could go, but I don't know
on like an off season.
Even worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to Google where I'm going. Like I feel like nothing can ruin a trip like the weather. So
true.
I'm actually pretty cognizant of that when I'm planning a trip. Like I will Google the location I'm going to. I will say like best time of year to visit A, B, or C. Yeah. And I try and like go when it's a good time, even though maybe it'll be a little bit busier. Sometimes I think it's nice to like cap off, like either go when the busy season is like just beginning or just ending because it's not the heat of it. Yeah. But that's not necessarily going to even, I don't know if that'll cut the price down. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, pack lots of like, this is like a practical tip when you're literally on the airplane, like pack a lot of your own snacks. I feel like just snacks at the airport, like it will literally be like $60. Sometimes when I go and I'll get like a water bottle because you can't take liquids. So that one's like inevitable. You kind of have to buy like a water bottle, especially when you're traveling international. But snacks are a crucial part of the flying. You have got to have good snacks. Yeah. And if you're going to pay for them, you are beholden to what the airline has for you, those prices. So if you can like go on a little grocery run before, I will like stock up my carry-on with snacks, granola bars, pretzel, like sweet and salty options. Yeah. And gotta have both. Yeah. And then just like buy water when you're there because it will literally end up being like hundreds of dollars for you to buy snacks at the airport and abroad and stuff.
For a long flight.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Those are my top tips. I'll be thinking of more.
I feel like I don't really have any. I've only traveled international like twice in my life.
Yeah.
And one was to Mexico.
Slay. Yeah, it can get pricey for sure. You gotta, I mean, I'm sure there are so many travel hacks like I don't know about. Obviously using like credit card points for, like there's a lot of things that you could do, but I haven't really been traveling the past year, so
I know.
I'm kind of out of practice.
I know. Although I do want to, I like traveling with babies. Like I actually think babies is probably easier than even like toddlers or kids sometimes because they don't do anything. And I like traveling, like, in this stage of life. I always remember,
like, are we going to Italy with our kids together or no?
Sure.
Like, I feel like we have to.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, let's not.
I'm like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that'll be so fun. Especially, here's
we
the
got to
thing.
make that happen. Like some kind of international trip, like
be so
with
fun.
our kids.
Yeah.
At some point.
And it would be more fun for our kids if there's other kids there. Besides just with mom and dad. They're probably like, okay, this is boring.
Yeah. Beth and I were talking about that. Even like renting a villa and like a few different families going. Fun. That would be so fun.
I know.
At some point.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be super soon.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. Like, yes, life is short and you don't know how long you have, like not to get dark, but like you don't know, how many days you have left. But also you could have the rest of your life. So you could have,
a lot of time to
travel. Yeah. It's like you don't need to stress out about it. It's in my head. I'm like, we got to see all these places in the next like 5 years. And it's like, well, what if the kids are, a little more grown and you can leave them at home and you're not so stressed about bottles and like having them, pumping and all of that stuff. It's like they're a little older. You can go then.
I feel
unless it's like your biggest priority in life, then you can make it happen. But you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. It's like there's always time.
Yeah. It's got more time. The opposite of like
actual truth.
Yeah. No, just like, YOLO.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sometimes you just got to not stress yourself out. Like the energy of like forcing and. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Okay. Hi, girls. Freaking love you both. Thank you. Anyway, the JC to my Chelsea had her first baby a month ago, and I'm so excited for her. We live in different states, and I'm having a hard time figuring out the best way to support her from afar for now until I can visit. How do you show up for your friends with babies in other states without being overbearing? I do not have a baby, so I'm clueless and trying my best. Okay, that's actually a good question.
That's a sweet question.
Yeah, because, in person you can do a lot, but when you're far away, there is very limited things you can do. I think, if you have a little extra money to spend, you could always send them like a local cake or cookies or like a meal or like a, their favorite pizza or something, like have it shipped to their house, which is just a nice little surprise. I mean, if you send something that they can eat at any time, you don't have to be like, hey, are you home tonight? Like, I'm going to send you, this.
This is like way less personalized, even like a DoorDash gift card or like, a code that they can use for like a delivery service could be nice. Like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also think sometimes it depends on the person. Sometimes they have a lot of help, like they have family around them, so they don't necessarily need someone like there. But I think something that can be helpful is just text an acknowledgement of like that time of your life. I feel like if you're far away, you could just text. I think Maddie was saying this from the Bad Broadcast. She was like, you can never ask too many questions about my baby. Like you can never, ask me too many times. Like, how's the baby? Like, send me pictures. Like,
how's breastfeeding going?
Yeah,
like how's
things
this?
like that. Like you can never
being interested.
Exactly. So sending, texts like, hey, how? I don't know if she had a boy or girl, but like, how's baby boy doing today? Like, I want to see a picture of him. Like, because people love to send photos of their babies too. It's like, and they're not going to think, oh, everyone wants to see my baby, but if you want a picture of my baby, I'll send it to you. You know? So I think that's a great way to do something. It's very low key. You don't really have to like do anything crazy, but it could be like just nice.
Unfortunately, I feel like when you are far away, the only thing you can really give is like, other than the attention via text and like FaceTime or something, is like money. Like you have to pay for things because
it's true.
You can't really physically be there to be like, hey, let me come like help you with this. It's like, if you can't be there, then I feel like it is harder because you have to, because I was thinking you could even send like cleaners to her house or like something extra like that. But that is probably going to be pretty pricey. So it depends on.
If you have money, that would be a good one. Sending cleaners to someone's house. That's nice.
cleaners or organizers or something.
Just doesn't tell them. They just show up at their house.
Literally.
Hey,
like, okay.
deep cleaning your house today. So stressful.
Yeah, actually, it's actually sometimes stressful to have people like in your space. So maybe get some approval for that. Okay, this is my last one. If my husband is going to stop somewhere on the way home from work, etc., something out of our normal routine, I ask that he communicate that with me so that I can plan accordingly with dinner, stuff with our kid, etc. But he thinks that is controlling and that he should not have to let me know. Is he right or am I?
Wait, so he's just going to like the gas station after work or something, or he's going to go pick up
Stop somewhere on the way home from work, something out of our normal routine.
Because if he's going to like Topgolf with the guys, you absolutely need to tell.
Oh, immediately no to that.
And actually, I think, I don't know.
I don't feel like it's too much to ask at all.
No.
Like, is a quick voice text, can he be like, hey, I'm running to here? Like, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
I don't think that that's like too much to ask for.
I feel like that's natural to do too. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I always do that anyways.
Yeah, you would never just like go off on a random tangent.
Yeah, like if I was going to go to the grocery store after this, like I would always either send Nick a text or like, voice note or like
would he do that to you though?
Yeah.
I feel like Leif would
unless he's like, I'm going to be gone for 2 hours. And but that's what she's saying. Like if I know he's going to be gone for 2 hours, like he will tell me if it's something outside of that, of what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I feel like it's really like.
He's cheating.
Yeah. He's unfaithful. I think it's not too much to ask for at all.
No.
It's not controlling.
No.
To just be like, hey, I would like a heads up.
Yeah.
Again, if he's literally going to the gas station for 5 minutes, like, okay,
that's what I was going to say.
Overboard,
if it's like the gas station where he's like going through the drive-thru, but even then, let me know so I can ask you to get me something.
Yeah. Or plan for dinner, like she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If he's like going to get food and stuff, you got to know.
Yeah, you got to know. I feel like that's not too much to ask for at all.
Definitely not. He's sketch.
Yeah, I would continue pushing for that. Be like, no, like that's, bothers me and it kind of taints our plans. Like, please let me know.
How about this? If you're not going to tell me, then you have to, if you're not already, you have to share your location with me. So if you're like a minute late, I can check your location.
Right.
And then if like bare minimum, if you're not going to tell me where you're going, so then I can at least say like, oh, he's at the gas station, probably getting a drink. Or like, oh, he's at McDonald's going through the drive-thru. He's probably grabbing food.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he can't bear to text.
That's kind of annoying me. Yeah. You got to share a location too. That's crucial, I feel like. It's just so nice. Leif and I were just talking about it because Leif's like, we should get flip phones. Like, just joke. He was saying how he saw this TikTok of this girl, how she like only basically has a flip phone when she goes out. I was like, but then I can't, I love having his location.
Yeah.
It's just convenience. Yeah. It's like just to know when he approximately like when he's going to be home. If he's like, whatever.
On my way, the text on my way just doesn't suffice. I need to be able to see that you're 7 minutes away.
And it also, like, for me, maybe this is like my weird anxiety that I've had being pregnant. Like, it gives me peace of mind of like, okay, I see he's moving, like in a car. Like, he's not.
That's true.
In a car accident, I don't know. I know that's like overkill, but I just like being able to see where he is.
Yeah. Especially.
Like, it makes me feel better.
Well, and it's nice after you have kids as well. It's like, especially if they have the kids, it's like to know where they are. Like Nick always takes Case on a walk and I like to see like, okay, where are they on their walk?
Yeah, when are they going to
I've actually gone so far as to memorize his golf course that he always goes to. I know where his location is on the golf course. I know which hole he's on.
So you know like approximately when he's going to, but that's nice.
Because then I don't have to text him because he doesn't have his phone on him usually where he's like looking at it. So then I don't need to bother him. I just look and I'm like, oh, he's on hole 9. He'll be home in an hour or 2 or something. So
no, it is nice. Yeah, you definitely need to share a location if he's not already.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for writing in with all your advice. We will just be doing this until you guys are sick of us, which hopefully you're not.
Hopefully never.
If you guys want to watch us on YouTube, you can subscribe to us. It's just What We Said Podcast. You can follow us on any social media, Instagram, TikTok, and just What We Said or What We Said Podcast. And if you're in Orange County, make sure to get our Valley Girl Latte at Coffee Dose locations. It will only be available until the end of June. So only a few more weeks. And if you guys haven't tried it yet, you have to. It's so good.
So good.
But thank you for listening. We love you guys so, so much. And
that's what we said.
Goodbye.